All right, welcome everyone to Q&A. My name is Sarah Pitcher, and I am one of the Cornerstone mentors. And it looks like we've got about 34 people in here today, and I will be taking attendance at the end of the meeting. So you guys get credit for attending today. And if you do not have your name listed, you can go change it in your settings or put it in the chat, and I can change it for you so you get credit. So, who has some questions to get us started?
I do.
Awesome.
I hope you are a princess expert.
We'll see.
I'm an expert at selling on Princess. I'm just not an expert at their booking tool. So I am trying to give some options. I have a client that wants to go on an Alaska cruise with a cruise tour in June.
Okay.
So she doesn't know anything about it. I've given her a few just in our conversation, and I sent her the brochure online. And she emailed me last night that she's very overwhelmed. So I was trying to pull out a couple of the tours that Hunter went over last night on the Princess thing. So I'm just not sure I'm doing it right in Polar because it's not the most friendly thing. So can you walk through doing a quote? Like I was trying to do the TLN one that has all of the amenities on it. Could
Okay.
you walk us through one of those?
Yeah, let me see if I can get that.
I did go into Cruise Complete, Lisa, and was kind of looking around to try to find like the voyage number and matching it up with princess.com. And I'm really trying to give her several options, like the one through the TLN group. And then I'm going to try to pull one like a connoisseur and an explorer, like he went over last night. Um, but I just kind of wanted to be familiar with what I'm looking for in Polar.
See if I can share my screen. I'm still letting people in too. Multitasking. See. Share. All right. So, what is the date that you have?
Okay, so the particular voyage for the Travel Leader Network, it's uh, A624, and the group is 33S. But I think we have to do it over on the cruise tour search side.
Okay, so you said 8/6, so August 6th.
No, sorry if that's what I said. Um, I would say the date will be June 16th of 26.
Mhm. Okay.
The voyage number or the cruise tour number is 33S, and they want a balcony. And their home city will be SHV for Shreveport.
HV.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's the first one there.
Okay. All right. So they want a balcony.
Yes.
All right. And then, so these are going to be where the room is going to be located. Do you
Yeah,
know
I
where
was
they?
gonna do I do not. I was gonna do the mid aft.
Okay.
And how do I know? Because like every time I've gone in here and done this, I've come up with a different page. Like this is a different page than what I was looking at before. How do I know I'm in the TLN group? Because the
So
page I'm on before had like the regular princess pricing versus the TLN group pricing.
it should tell you.
Ah, right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So these are the different categories of the balconies that are available.
okay. So probably the
It looks
so
like
the
the only
one
one
on
that's
the left.
available is this one because these are waitlisted.
Okay.
So the Baja,
So, all right. And is that going to be the TLN group or is that the princess one?
that's going to be the Teal'c.
Okay.
So all of these, because it's under that tour rate, is going to be the Teal'c.
So these are all TLN.
Yes.
Okay. What are the three circles that were on the right hand side? Like next to straight across from where you selected the BB4. Yeah, and then it says MN and then there's a open circle. What does that mean?
So this actually is going to be the group pricing and the group thing. I think it's, let's see, save continue. Okay, so the group pricing for this is sold out. So see how it says the fit pricing and then it has the group pricing. So the
Uh-huh.
group pricing is sold out. So when you click over here, it says that there's no more availability for the group.
Okay. So then I would have to go in under that one. Although I have it pulled up on my screen and it still shows there is one. That's why I
Okay.
came in here to ask questions because I've gone into it 3 different times and I get a different screen and a different thing every time.
Yeah, and you're probably going to because there's so many different people using it that I mean the availability changes by the minute. So, um,
Okay.
trying to go all the way through and putting it on hold, um, you know, you can
Can you
hold.
go through and show me where I can put it on hold? Like
Mhm.
just say with the one you have selected.
Yep. So you would just continue here, um, and then you can add anything here or delete anything here if you want vacation protection. Um, and then under travel packages is where you would delete like the transfers or the travel protection.
Okay.
Um, and then you would hit save and continue. And then mark that. And then this tells you the cabin. So you'll choose the cabin number. And then you'll put the information in of the people.
Okay.
And then you'll hit book now. And then it will tell you the date that the deposit is due and then when the final payment is due. So you'll be able to save it. Typically, it's 2 to 3 days, and it'll tell you when the reservation will expire. But you'll need the information of the passengers.
Correct. And that's all I have to do. And then it'll hold it for like 2 days or three
Yeah.
days. Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if you have their member number, you can look up their member number here. So you can search and find their member
Yes.
here.
They've never sailed Princess. So
Okay.
that I'll have to create something new. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Who is next? Oh, we've got more people in the waiting room. All right. Who else has a question?
I have a question.
Ellie?
Hello.
Yes.
Um, I read about the time zones and like on every quiz, I like fail them. So I'm not doing something right. Is there an easier way to explain them?
You're talking about from the academy.
Yeah.
So it should, I don't remember what all the questions are because I did that a while ago, but um, I would probably use Google to help you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
because
that's
that's,
what you suggest.
yeah, I mean, you'll learn them, Eastern. It just kind of depends because Arizona doesn't follow daylight savings time. California does, so if you're in Eastern, you'll know California is either 2 to 3 hours behind. Central time is either 1 to 2 hours ahead um, from Pacific. So it's
It's
just really easier when you are trying to figure out times. I still do it for Hawaii. I'll Google what's the current time in Hawaii,
right.
just because it changes so much that it's hard to know, if they're 4 hours behind or 5 hours behind. So I would say that's probably the best thing.
Right, because it explains it like it's +5 -1, and I'm like, to me, -1 means -1, and then but it's actually +1, and so I just get confused. But thank you. I'll
Sure.
use Google.
Yeah, Google or ChatGPT, either one of those
Okay,
will definitely help you out.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, what are we all working on? What questions do we have?
Hi, Sarah.
Hey.
Good. Hey, I've got a client that's going on an Alaska cruise, once in a lifetime deal, and they're debating between an interior and a balcony. I know balconies are always suggested, but do we really need to go on a balcony on an Alaska cruise?
It's definitely a preference. Most people would say yes because especially if you're going through the passage. It depends on the Alaska cruise, but some of them go through a passage where it's a whole day of just seeing that. Um, it also depends on your client. Most people will say absolutely 100%. You want to sit on your balcony. There are some people that don't like to sit on a balcony and would rather sit on the top deck and see. So, um, I know for myself, I love the balcony, but I also love a cheaper room. And so it would just kind of depend on what I'm looking for. I know that there are tons of things to see from a balcony. So depending on the cost upgrade, you could just present it to them and tell them that, if they are doing the passageway, there typically is a full day where go through and you can see from your balcony. So if there are people that would sit on their balcony, that would eat breakfast on their balcony, that would have coffee on their balcony, then absolutely. If they tell you, we're never going to go out on our balcony, period, then I would sway them from not having any. It's completely, you're going to be able to sit on the top decks. You're going to be able to see. For me, when I sit on a balcony, it makes me sick. When I sit on the top deck, it doesn't because I have more of a view. So I am more apt to get an interior room no matter where I go, just because I save money and I can use it for something else. But I know that most people with Alaska cruises do because you can sit there and whale watch and, see everything from your own balcony. So I guess it would really just depend on your client. And I would just kind of ask them, I do this with every vacation. What is your vision for your trip? Do you see yourself sitting on your balcony and having coffee in the morning? Or do you think it's something that you would never utilize? And just kind of get a feel for what they want and if it's worth it for the extra money.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, in the chat, see, most people are saying balcony, absolutely. So you are going to see tons and tons of things and be able to do that, but it really is their preference. If they tell you they're never going to go out on the balcony, then I absolutely would say, it's not worth it.
Hi, Sarah. I have a question. Hello?
Cliff, how can we help you?
Yeah, so I'm new with, I just signed up on January 20th, but I'm trying to turn this passion for cruising into something good. But
Then
I
welcome.
have, yeah, I did 90 cruises so far. And then so um, I have casino bookings. So what I did was I booked it on Polar. And I guess maybe I did it correctly and what have you, because it looks like it's the same. But those those two cruises that I booked with you all under Cornerstone, will that qualify for whatever that requirement for two with Princess Cruises?
Well, yep, as long as you have 2 cruises on the books, it will
Okay,
qualify.
even though it's my own
Yes,
casino booking.
yes.
Okay, and then also I have about 7 cruises that I already booked before I came over. But those are paid in full. And is there a way to move those over to? I know, I mean, I'm just asking. So, is there a way to move those to me now, or we can't?
Unless the only way is if there's a refundable deposit and you can cancel them and rebook them. So if they're paid in full, you can't transfer them over.
That's fine. I'll give it to my PVP on that one. So, and then also, I'm trying to book my casino offers on Celebrity as well and Royal. But for those guys, it's not like Princess. When they go in Princess, it automatically puts in the offers already in there. So when let's say I did a 33, I have like a qualification for 33 days cruise on Princess, it shows automatically. I don't need to put codes. But on the Celebrity, I have Aqua class, I have Concierge class with the new Excel. But when I try to put the codes like that, it's not taking it. So can I do it online or do I need to call them for that?
You might have to call them. If it's
Okay.
not taking the code, you might have to call and have
So
a
now,
person.
so now when I call them, I'll say, hey, because a lot of them they know me as the regular consumer at that time. So now I just say, okay, I'm a travel advisor, and here's that IATA number, or
So
do they
for
know?
cruising, you'll use the cruise booking number. So the phone number for Cornerstone.
Yeah.
Um, You'll use that. So they'll ask for your phone number and you'll use
Oh,
that phone number.
okay. So when they'll ask for the phone number, then I'll give them the 281 number, then the Galveston number.
Yes.
Okay, so then that's where they identify.
Yes. Yep. And then
Okay,
they'll ask your name and then you can do the code and then they'll book it and send you a confirmation.
okay. So, and then one more thing. So I'm already elite with Princess, but I heard that when you reach Commodore, there's I guess you become that too. But um, I completed the course, and then when I go back, I don't have any more required course to take. But I'm not at the Commodore level. I'm the first officer. Is there like do they stop you to say, hey, you're going too fast or something?
No, you should be able to.
Yeah, because I completed the Cornerstone, I completed the Royal Adventure, I completed the Celebrity, and then Princess. I mean, I'm very familiar with it because I cruise already. I mean, I'm already cruising a lot. So I said, oh, I know this one, I know this one. So, but when I go to Princess, I did the first officer, and then after that, then there's no more of those required that I can do.
You might have to call them and see. It might be a glitch in the
Did you do
training.
your electives for that level?
Oh,
It won't
yes,
let
I
you
did.
advance until
I did.
in
When you go to the bottom like that, it
yeah.
should tell you required electives. I've done it all, and then so because I cruise a lot, and then so now that I have time, I'm on land. I want to knock
Right.
all these things off because my cruise is coming up again. I'm doing the Adventure of the Sea and the Celebrity Apex. I'm doing a side to side, so I'm capitalizing on my hobbies, and I'm waiting for the Texas Secretary of State because I'm doing the veteran LLC. So I'm doing that, and then so as soon as I get all that, I'll register as a private client with Chase, and then I have to go to test, and then I have to put in a W-9. So I have to do all this before the next cruise. So yeah, so that's the other question as far as the testing or the taking the classes. So I need to call them or just email them then.
It's got to be a glitch if they're not showing anymore. Um,
Okay.
you might have to reach out to the BDM too, to
Is
Hunter
that
and just see if he can. There might be something that needs reset or something because you should be able to go all the way through Commodore status.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's what I thought too. But when I go there, I log in and then I log out, I log back in again, and then it's still the same. So I just requested to join that Princess group as well too. So as soon as I get in there, I can ask the question. Or do you have the number number for Hunter?
I don't have Hunter's number. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody that was on last night has it. I don't know.
Yeah, I missed that one because I went to watch a basketball game with my daughter, high school. So yeah.
Yeah, I would. I mean, just call maybe the main travel agent number for Princess and see if they can help you or transfer you to like the training department.
Okay. So like I said, I'm just trying to convert this veteran experience or what have you, because when I go on board, I'm actually hosting veterans already voluntarily. So the last time on Star, I've been on Star Princess for 32 days, the inaugural. I gathered 80 people there, veterans, and then now we're talking about doing Salute at Sea. Um, I'm trying to propose to Princess because they don't have like a formal veteran program for us. They just have the informal. And then so Captain Arma, I get to know these guys because I'm the one requesting for the bridge tours. So I'm gathering bridge tours like that. So I have the last one I did was 54 veterans on board the bridge. And that's rare. They don't normally do a bridge tour like that. So, and then when I saw Captain Arma, I said, "Hey, we're looking forward to seeing you." And he goes, "Yeah, but Cliff, this time you have 54." I said, "Well, you're in demand, Captain." So that's the kind of relationship that I have now with the guys there. So I'm looking forward to learning more from you guys. So that's why I came to this Q&A. So that's it for now. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited and welcome, and we look forward to having you. Okay, it looks like Hunter's email is in the chat, and he gave a phone number for assistance. It looks like people are putting it in the chat. So let's see. Okay, yes, to get your CLIA card, you can go to cruising.org and click on membership. If you are doing the pro hosting, the 90/10 split, you do get the CLIA reimbursement within 90 days. You just email your receipt to Vicky, and then in 90 days, you'll get reimbursed for CLIA. Right.
Sarah, do you know? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Nicole.
Do you know for the Margaritaville comp cruises from the webinar last week, do we have to enter those in tests?
Um,
Somebody, I thought I read somewhere in the Facebook group or one of the groups that you should because we paid taxes, and somebody said it was tied to Cornerstone's CLIA, but my person that registered me, when I asked what came with the base price, because he asked if I wanted to add anything on, he didn't understand what I was asking. So I'm like, well, it comes with meals, entertainment, any drinks like coffee, juice. He goes, oh no, if you want food and drinks, you have to pay $600 per person. I said, so you're telling me that Margaritaville the Sea is only for the cabin? So I wasn't really confident in anything that he told me. Um, but I wasn't going to enter it in test because I didn't think that we were going to get any commission or anything from it.
So you always want to enter anything that's booked under TA or not.
Okay.
In test just because we track that, like how much is utilized and things like that. So I would say enter it, and especially if you paid, for taxes and fees, just enter that in. You're not necessarily going to get commission, but that way we can keep track of who has booked and how much we've booked through and who utilizes the free cruises. The food, I would say that person probably didn't know what they were talking about.
Right. I'm hoping
So
he meant like the specialty dining because I can't imagine anyone getting super excited to try and sell a cruise line that offers no no food. But
I've never heard of it before. So he probably was not understanding because I mean, I can't see them saying, "Oh, you're one of the 10 people that has to pay for the buffet."
right, here's your
Yeah,
wristband.
yeah, I would probably maybe call back and ask somebody else if you really want to know. But
I just
I,
told him I'll add the options because he was like, "Do you want Wi-Fi? Do you want drink package?" And I said, "Oh, I forgot to ask the second person if they even want the drink package." I said, "Let me go in and I'll add it all later. Just get me booked."
yeah, yeah,
So,
I would think that the normal
yeah.
stuff is included.
Considering they wanted you on the cruise to test these things out and get it.
Right. Right, that's what I told him. Because the first question is, have you ever cruised with us? I said, no, I'm excited to try it out. So naturally, I'm like, well, what is included? Because some cruise lines, they get coffee and juice with meals, or, some you get whatever. So he starts naming all these packages. He's like, well, no, if you want food and drinks, I'm like, you know what? Just book the fare and I'll do the rest later.
I definitely think that he wasn't quite sure what was going on. So, yeah.
Hi, Sarah. I just want to ask again. So I I emailed Alyssa for my test because I have those two bookings with Princess already that I need to enter because I made sure I print out the booking because at the on the bottom right it says commission. It says bonus commission of $100 for one, and then the other one I think it's like $100 for what have you that I get. So now I last night because I'm trying to do so much before my next cruise. So last night I watched the test video by Vicky, so I kind of get an idea. So I'm just waiting for my login for tests because I know that I'm still forming my business, but in there, when I was watching the video, I can still input my cruises already that I'm doing, but the cruise is not going to be till later. So, uh, you know, I can put my ACH later to get paid for those. But I'm just waiting for um, my login because I in there it says before 2 to 3 days when you paid and sign up, but I haven't received it. So I emailed and Alyssa from the contact or what
Okay.
have you. So when do I get that?
So it should come within 2 to 3 days. I would check your spam
I
and your
did.
junk folder. Okay. And then if you emailed her last night, she'll get back to you.
Oh,
Um,
not last night. I programmed because I don't. You guys work hard like that. I don't want to send the email at night, so I programmed it to send this morning at 8 o'clock. So it
gotcha.
sent
Okay.
out today.
So I would say in the next day or so, she'll send you the link to log in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And if not, you can follow up, with Vicky. But if you sent it this morning, she should get to it.
Alyssa is the right contact, right? Because I followed that
Yes.
our list there. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Eileen, scheduling a one-on-one. Yes. It's under agent access getting started. I believe it's number 10. There's a link where you can click on it. It'll take you to Zoom. And then you can schedule the one-on-one. think I've got all the questions in the chat answered so far. Who else has some questions? Mike, no, if you book any cruises or travel agent cruises, always enter them into tests. But if you have booked cruises before you joined, if you're transferring over to yourself as a travel agent, then you'll want to enter them, but not before. So even if it's just a travel agent rate, you still want to enter it into tests.
Sarah, I have a question about invoicing or like a travel itinerary, sending it to clients.
Okay.
Several months ago, um, when I got started, I was on a call, and I can't remember who was actually running the mentoring call, and they were talking about, have the invoices, say from Expedia or Vacation Express or wherever you're booking through, email that invoice to yourself, and then create an invoice to send to your clients, because you don't want them say Expedia, they see Expedia on there, and then they think, well, I can go to Expedia and book it myself. But then my question is, I ran into a situation the other day because I'd created an invoice template or an itinerary template, and luckily this was a friend of mine that went on a trip with a group that we had going, and I'd booked a hotel room through price agencies, and it was a tag on. I'd already booked it through Expedia, and one night, and they wanted to add another night. Expedia didn't have a night available, so I found it through price agencies, and I just went ahead and booked it. And then when we got home from the cruise, she called, and she had a charge on her card from price agencies, and she's like, Fondo, is that who we booked through? And I said yes. And she said, well, I just wanted to make sure because I didn't know. So I guess my question is, what do we need to send the clients when we're actually sending them the itinerary with the cost and everything that they've paid, as far as the suppliers, or do we put it in a generic form, or how do you go about doing yours?
So honestly, that's up to you and how you kind of want to run your business. You want to send them some type of verification that they paid or receipt that they paid. Some of us use CRMs, and so I utilize a CRM that has all the information and the confirmations and everything like that, and that's where I send my clients, and then I will send them the information once I get it from Vacation Express or Vax, that has all of the information. But I typically don't send the full invoice to my clients. I might snip a part of it and put it in my CRM so they can see that they paid it. And they are going to see typically the supplier on their credit card statement is going to say the supplier. So it's not a secret, who we book through. But it's definitely your access to the supplier. So, you can create an invoice or a receipt, and you can, snip just the amount showing that they paid and that it's paid, or you can type it up yourself and put it, from your logo and your information and your company.
Okay. I was just, when she called me about that, I started thinking about the situation. You have a client that you don't really know, and you book something for them, and then they get something say that says price agencies, and they're not sure who that is, and then they end up disputing the charge because they're not sure. So I just wasn't sure, if we should include that, on our invoices, just so, or make them aware of who they're going to get a billed to.
And
So.
absolutely. And typically the price matches up, and make sure you're getting a credit card authorization. So, that price matches up. So if they do dispute it, you have something showing that, they charge $4,500 and they authorize $4,500. But it's not necessarily a secret. We have our suppliers, that's who we book through. And so, you can tell them. It's not like they can go and, get the same price and get the same rate that we get as a travel agent for them, through, some of our suppliers. So, you can, I know some people send just the whole invoice and it's not a big deal. Because you've got to think also what value do you add to your clients? So you're not just booking, you're managing everything, you're keeping track of everything, you're helping them with their trip. You're kind of the destination specialist. So you're going to help them with things to do there. You're going to help them with things to do at the resort, how to get to the resort, if there's an app for the resort. So, even if they know who you're booking through, you're adding more value than just booking the trip.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let me see. I saw a couple other questions. Heather, I didn't see your question about the business card requirements, but let me see. So anything printed, you need to have Cornerstone's logo and the 2 SOT numbers. So if you go into the forms under agent access, it will show you down here what is required for business card requirements. And that's also anything that's printed. So if you have, a brochure that you do, or you've got posters that you put out, and it doesn't have to be big and bold. Your logo and your information can be bold. This is where you get the logo of Cornerstone, and it just has to be somewhere. So it can just be small on your website. You have to have this also. But it doesn't have to be big. And then just the 2 SOTs for California and Florida. That's what is required. So flex pay is based on the supplier. You'll sign up for different suppliers and different options that they have. I think Royal Caribbean has a flex pay option and Carnival has a flex pay option. So you'll have to go through their training and then do their training. And one of them asks for a agency verification letter, and that's where you will email Amy and ask for that verification letter. Mike, I am not sure. I don't use tests for my invoices. So if anybody does use tests for their invoices, I think you can probably, if it's similar to the other CRMs, I think you can put what is on the invoice tab. So I know I use Turn, and you can do Turn and put your information in there. And then you can choose to put a supplier if you want. You can choose what information is on the invoice tab. So I would assume that Test is the same, but I don't use Test for my invoices. So I can't answer that. But if somebody does, if you can help me out with Mike's question. Eileen. Okay. Eileen, you can email Vicki and see if she can get you on a one-on-one sooner. And let's see. So I would do a group. I would do a group for your 10 people. How many rooms, Eileen, do you have for those 10 people? Is it 8 rooms?
Oh, no, I'm looking into 4 or 5 rooms.
Okay. So any more than that, you would have to call and have them help you with getting that kind of block together, because you can't do that on Cruising Power. So if you call in, they can help put the rooms on hold and make sure they're all near each other. The other thing you can do is you can book 2 rooms and then book 2 rooms. So kind of book them together and then go book 2 rooms. But they can do all of them together if you call in.
So if I call in, I'm calling directly to Royal Caribbean, or do I get on the agent's portal and the information there?
There is information there. So if you go into Cruising Power and you go, I think it's the little hamburger on the left side, it'll say contact information, and you'll choose Royal Caribbean, and then it'll have like a future booking or new reservation email phone number, and that's the number you'll call. And then it'll go through prompts, and you'll click that you're a travel agent, and then it'll ask you for the agency phone number, and that will be the Cornerstone phone number.
Perfect. That answers my question. Thank you so much.
And then you need an account for 4 of your kids. So you would just add them in the reservation. And then as long as the cruise has kids travel free, then once you put them in, as you're putting in people's names for the reservation, it will create an account for each one of them if they've never traveled before.
Perfect. Thank you. And
You're
thanks for putting the chat too. They're all helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, I see that. Great. Let's see. Yeah, and if you can get 8 rooms, then you'll get some amenity points and tour conductor credit and stuff. So it might be a good idea to start a group and just see. You won't lose out on anything. So you can definitely do that.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can schedule a one-on-one as much as you need. We also offer help. If you need help with booking, you can email Vicki and say, you need some help with some booking. And we've got mentors that help with that. Casey, awesome. Thank you so much. So it looks like you can put your own logo in there and then your information for tests. Andrew, yes. Anything you book as a TA for yourself or for clients needs to be entered into test just because we track all of that.
Hi, Sarah. So I was just wondering because it's when you're booking travel agent rates, there's no commission associated with it.
Yes.
So it's booked directly on the hotel's website.
Yes. So we track that, and as we book, even if it's a travel agent rate, as we book more, sometimes it can help us move up tiers with our suppliers. So if you're booking even as a travel agent, that is still considered something that Cornerstone is booked under their CALIA, and so that can help us get to the next level. And so you always want to enter that in, even if there is no commission, it just helps with the amount of sales we are bringing to that supplier.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's also it's in the foreign currency, so I got to figure out how to convert it to US dollars.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just go online and do a currency converter.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Colleen, so the sponsor spotlights, you have to do 2 per month for Wave Makers. So it's 4 of these Q&As per month and then 2 sponsor spotlights. So you can pick any 2 that you want. Casey, thank you
Hi,
for
Sarah.
putting.
It's Colleen. So I just want to confirm this because I've heard 3 different stories and
Okay.
3 different meetings. So I'm just really confused. And like if your name's missed and you do have to do them all, right? You maybe have to just do the recordings for the ones you missed live. Do you live out on Wave Maker? So I'm just trying to confirm for sure what's going on. So sorry, I heard 3 different stories.
So when you go into the Wave Makers, it says that you have to do 2 supplier trainings a month and 4 webinars, the Q&As a month.
I thought that was Q2, but Q1, I didn't see it mentioned.
It is I think it's under the first or the second page. It is in Q1. So each month, that's what is required. And it's live. So 4 of the group and 2 of the suppliers each month.
Okay, I'll double check because I'm in Q2 already. I finished 1 and I didn't see that. So that's why I was confused.
Yeah, let me see if I can see.
I just want to piggyback on that too, Sarah, because I sign up for it too, and but I know that I guess they require the convention later. I'm not gonna be because I'm gonna be on a cruise for a long cruise. So will it be continuational? Like even though I missed the convention, I'm not gonna start over again.
No, so you'll be able to, like next year, you can do the convention as a final thing.
Okay, and then also the coffee with Vicky Freed is not on our Zoom like that. Will that qualify as a supplier training?
No, that doesn't qualify. So it would be our supplier trainings, Tuesdays and Wednesday nights.
Okay, so I've been doing those, but I didn't put my name on the chat. Will they take the attendance and get me there? Because
So we have a participant list that we do a screenshot with at the end. So as long as your name is listed, which I see that it's listed, then they will screenshot that. And so it doesn't have to be in the actual chat. They just do that just in case people don't have their names, but they take a participant list screenshot. So as long as you're there and you stay till the end, we take the screenshot.
Sarah, the last couple I was in, they actually had you put your name into the chat and then they copy and paste it from the chat so that they could just send the list of names.
Okay, that's new. That might be how some people are doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it. We have a meeting, and so I think we're all going to try to get on the same page. But as long as you're in the meeting and somehow you're either in the participant list or in the chat, you will get credit for it.
Okay, so is there like a list on the because I'm able to get into the Wave now online. And is there like a way to find out, oh, you meet all the requirements for this month and so on?
If you want to see where you are, you can email Vicky because
Okay.
she has an ongoing list of everybody that was in there. All right. So right in first quarter under tier one, oh, Virginia just screenshotted it. Yes. So that's where it tells you the tier one learning path and is the qualifications for that. So I think it's in all of the courses.
That's good to know. I've been attending them all live, but that's good to know. Thanks. I don't know why I didn't even see that.
No problem.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you, Cindy. All right. Any other questions? We've got about 11 more minutes to hang out. So
How do we reprice or check the prices on cruises? See if a fare has gone down. What's the procedure if the price has gone down?
so it depends on which fare you booked, but typically when you're in the reservation, you can go to make changes, and then you can go reprice it and see. And if it is lower, then you can just change the reservation, and then it'll give that credit back. Typically, I believe it's in onboard credit. Sometimes it goes back to their card. It just depends on the fare that they're booked. But you should be able to reprice it, go into the reservation, and then it'll say change or cancel. And you just go in and reprice it, and then it'll show you the new fare.
Okay. Lost my train of thought. If I remember, I'll get back to you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right,
Carla,
Sarah.
you can check as often as you want. So some people check weekly, some people, if you're bored, check daily. But you can check as often as you want for pricing changes. So sometimes, people will check every Wednesday. Just it's kind of up to you and what you want to check.
Sarah.
But yeah.
Okay, so I've done quite a few cruises, but I'm a newbie. I'm not a sales guy, what have you. But I've already have the Star Princess. I call it my anniversary cruise like that, and I already have a Facebook group. But this is before I became a travel advisor. So now I want to capitalize that because now I have that. I always create Facebook group because in there I delegate folks. I said, hey, can you do the countdown? Hey, can you do the I do the welcome aboard. I do the welcome aboard and sail away with a shot glass exchange to make it fun. And then now I'm inviting folks. So now I want to add that closing now where I can capture them to book with me. So that's the challenge because I have the Star. I booked that already, and then that's a Panama Canal. That's a bucket list cruise, and that's a new ship. This is the first time they're going, and like I said, I already have good relationship with Captain Arma, Ralph, and those guys. So that one is going to be the U.S. Navy birthday too. So I want to capture all those. I want to work with, I guess, Hunter or what have you, because it became like I'm like a princess ambassador now. Because after that one, I'm gonna do another Panama Canal going back to the west on Sapphire, which I've been. And then that Sapphire, I'm going to continue on for 33 days. That's bucket list or what have you. So those are the things that, you guys are experienced. I want to capture those to close it. And then, so that way, because I'm already doing it anyway, I'm already hosting the veterans on board. I do like a captain toast like that and then the bridge tour. So now it's just a matter of saying, okay, I have all these things booked. Now join Captain Cliff. I'm branding the rank. I'm retired Army captain. So and then I wear my mess dress blue. And then now we're trying to form like we call it the salute at sea, where we dress up on our military attire. So now I just want to ask you guys here because like I said, I'm a newbie to sales or what have you. So that's what I want to do.
So I would probably start a group just for you and your travel agency. And then I would funnel all of the group cruises into it. So I did one where it was I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of Royal Caribbean's, cruises, and it was the cruise page for that cruise. And we did the slot pull and we did the glass exchange and all of that. And so at closing, what we did was I just said, Robin and I are travel agents. We'd love to help you with your future travels. Please join our group, and then put the group link in there, and then other people would come. And then in that group, you can advertise different group trips that you've got, different group cruises. You can advertise mock bookings for different hotels and resorts and things like that. And so I would utilize that to funnel it in, because you want to be careful. You can't necessarily advertise on the boat. Because it kind of, creates a fine line. But right. You can close that group and just say, hey, it's been great, cruising with you guys. I'd love to help you with your future cruises. Please join my, travel agency group. And then that group, you can advertise and do everything and do group cruises and advertise your group cruises and things like that in that group.
Okay, I already have multiple, I call it the roll calls. Like I said, the anniversary cruise, that's already done. It's already up. And then I assigned like a co-moderator to do it. So I create a lot of roll calls and what have you like that. And then I didn't know all these things. So now I'm the admin for those groups. Okay, I have that going. So I have, like I said, the Star Princess, I have that going. And then I also have the Legend of the Sea. I have that going. I'm the admin. I created all those things or what have you. And then now it's just a matter. And then I also created the veteran one, which called Veterans at Sea. So now those things are getting traction. Now it's just a matter of, I don't want to become like, oh, that's why he's doing it because he's a TA. I want to make sure that, okay, the first thing that I'm doing it is because my passion for the veterans. This thing came later, and my passion for cruises and traveling. This came later because now I'm saying, oh, in order for me to get this going, I want to see the back end, what the travel advisors see. So that way I can better provide them, because I know, like they said, what, eight cabins or more, then you can get free. Instead of me getting the free, I'd like to apply that as like an onboard credit equally for them, and what have you. So that way bring us even more, a better experience on cruises, because this thing helped me a lot because I was struggling when I retired from the U.S. Army. And then when I did that first cruise, August 2015, boom, it shot up, and then now it became like a facilitator on board, and I'd like to see a lot more veterans to take advantage of that, because when someone like a Vietnam veteran come there and goes, "Hey Cliff, I'm glad that you created this outlet, because now it helps me, kind of like talk about my experiences and what have you." So that's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in. But I know there's a lot of learning curve to transition into that. But I already have the email list. I already have the audience or what have you. But I don't, I want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly.
Because they are your own groups, you can advertise in those groups if you want. But if you're
Yeah.
wanting to not necessarily make that group completely about you as a travel agent, you could create one group and then put a post out every month or so, just, hey, I am a travel agent. I have my own group. If you're interested in, joining, and I can help you plan your next cruise, then join my group here. And then in that group, you can advertise you as a travel agent. You can advertise different cruises and things like that. So you would still have, your VA group, your star group, all of that. But every once in a while, do a post where you funnel people to your travel agent group. And that
Okay.
way they're opting in to be in that group. And then hopefully they'll start to have you book, they'll book through you.
Okay.
But then you'll still have like the VA group just focused on just VAs and not selling.
So I'm just gonna say full disclosure kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but every now and then I'll just say, okay, here, I'm a travel agent. Here. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Melissa, you would just be required to do half of it then if you joined mid-month. All right, we've got time for maybe one more question. And I'm going to take attendance here.
I write my name on the chat this time. I want to make sure I get credit.
Sharon, right now, what I understand is it's just lives. We have Q&As at night and we have Q&As on the weekends also. So thank you guys all for attending. And we will see you guys on the next supplier training or Q&A training. Thank you very much.